I'd like to welcome everyone here for our Thanksgiving Convocation, one of the favorite ones that I always have enjoyed. Whenever we can bring the family of Gilman together, it's always a pleasure to see us all here. In everything, give thanks. In everything, give thanks. So as we prepare for this program today, I want you to think about that part of Scripture. It says, in everything give thanks. So when you're home tomorrow and Thursday for your Thanksgiving dinner, I want you to think about your parents and those who have prepared those meals and the times that we have together and the times that you're going to be spending with family as we're spending right now. And remember, in everything, give thanks. We're going to begin our program with the invocation by Sarah Miller, followed by a musical rendition from middle school and upper school bell choir. They will be doing Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing. Once that is done, we'll have the meaning of Thanksgiving by President of the school, Paul Stoller. May we all stand, please.
For those who pray, please join me for a guided reflection in recognition of the various values, beliefs, and faith traditions in this room. For a quiet moment, I invite you to express gratitude for the opportunity for us to join together as one Gilman community today to renew and strengthen our bonds. I invite you to ask for blessings for our speakers and performers today who will share their knowledge and talents with us through word and song. I invite you to ask for blessings for each one of us who will grow in compassion and share our light with those who are in darkness. May the gratitude that we experience on this day be the focus of all that is to come. Amen.
Thank you, Upper School Bell Choir. For me, Thanksgiving is like stuffing. Now personally, I have many Thanksgiving favorites, like mashed potatoes, both regular and sweet potato, honey glazed ham, and my uncle's famous butternut squash soup. But nothing quite hits like a mound of homemade stuffing on your plate with a little gravy. Not only is stuffing incredibly delicious and easily one of my most anticipated parts of Thanksgiving, but it also has a special meaning to me. Every year, there are 3 separate mounds of stuffing on each person's plate, and all 3 with their own origin. My dad has his cornbread stuffing. For hours throughout the day, the stuffing sits in our crock pot, cooking away, until it finally, inevitably, ends up on someone's plate. This is the first mound. But my uncle has his sausage stuffing. Using homemade Italian sausage, a similarly long process of cooking and preparing leads to a second heaping mound of stuffing on my dish. And finally, my aunt, not wanting to go through the arduous process that my dad and uncle endure, gets kinda lazy and picks up a tray of stuffing from Eddie's, ready to be heated up and served at her arrival. And with this final scoop, the stuffing triad is completed. So why bring this up? Yes, it's delicious, and I love sharing my family traditions with others, or talking about how my dad's stuffing is the best in the family by far. But what's the underlying message? My family is all over the place. Dramatically different personalities, different opinions, different sports teams, different schools, and I could go on and on and on. So to have these 3 scoops of stuffing, the bedrock of my plate, sitting side by side is special. It represents, much like Thanksgiving itself, a time for us all to gather and connect. No matter the distance, no matter the differences. So Gilman School, as you reflect this Thursday on the important people in your lives, the friends and family that know you and care about you, the teachers that have helped you to grow and learn both inside and outside the classroom, and this fantastic place that we're all blessed to attend every single day, I ask you one thing. Think of the people sitting around you at the table. Think about how lucky you are to have each other. All of you there at the same place at the same time. And think about how rare of an occasion this may be. And take this opportunity to say thank you. But don't forget to eat some stuffing. Thank you, Gilman, and happy Thanksgiving. So please, let's have a warm welcome for the Upper School Concert Band with their performance of Cajun Folk Songs 2 by Frank Tidgell.
The amount of rehearsals that these two groups go through, I think they deserve another round of applause. At this particular time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce 4 individuals of our community. Some of you know the women to my left, some of you don't. They're doing me a great favor because I asked them to come up and give me their thoughts. Come and give you their thoughts of what Thanksgiving means to each one of them. So in the order that I read their names is how they will be presenting. Phyllis Pollard from the middle school, Tammy Testament from the lower school, Pat France from the upper school, and Kimberly Hammer from the Dean's Office of the upper school as well.
Good afternoon, Gilman family. Today I have the pleasure of sharing with you what Thanksgiving means to me. Thanksgiving is the start of what is referred to as the holiday season, in which we celebrate Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and the beginning of a new year. It is during this time of year many people choose to travel long distances and short distances to spend time with loved ones. On Thanksgiving Day, we gather together with family and friends, share a meal, and give thanks. As a young girl growing up in West Baltimore, I have fond memories of spending Thanksgiving with my family and helping my grandmother prepare a delicious meal. Relatives and close friends from out of state were invited for dinner. Thanksgiving Day is also one of the few days during the year when the good china made its way out of the china cabinet. As a family, we spend hours eating, talking, eating, laughing, eating, watching football games and parades on television. We share with one another what we are thankful for. This year, I am thankful for my family, friends, and I am thankful for my health. I am thankful to have the opportunity to stand before you, my Gilman family, and share. I would like to wish each of you a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy spending time with your family, your friends. Enjoy each other's company. Make new memories, fellowship, and also take some time to bestow a blessing upon someone else. For this time of year can be difficult for others. And I ask that you do that in whatever way you choose to do so. Thank you for your time and happy holiday.
As Johnny said, in all things give thanks. And yet it's so much easier sometimes to focus on the negative. And with what's going on in our country and other things, other stressors going on in our lives, and me listening to way too much talk radio, I've been finding it really hard, thinking about preparing this speech, I've been finding it very hard to focus on what I am thankful for. And so I talked to Johnny, and I knew what he was going to say before he said it, that I really needed to take this opportunity to dig deep to find the things that I'm thankful for and that I've always known I was thankful for. So I took his advice, and that's what I did. And these are the things that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for my parents who raised me and my siblings with love and affection to be caring individuals. I'm thankful for my 2 sons who have grown into fine men. I'm thankful for my husband who loves me despite my faults. I am thankful to live in this country despite how flawed it might seem right now. I am thankful for this job that I have been fortunate to love and enjoy for nearly 20 years. I am thankful for the opportunity to watch so many of you boys grow from way down here to way up here. But most of all, I am thankful for the turkey tango.
Good afternoon, students and colleagues. Mr. Foreman invited me to speak to you today about what Thanksgiving means to me. I have read and researched much about Thanksgiving, as well as the idea of thankfulness. I've also pondered his directive considering what does Thanksgiving mean to me. Of everything that I've considered, researched, and read, my thoughts continually return to one thing that keeps coming to the forefront of my mind, which is gratefulness. I try to always live my life with an attitude of gratefulness. I am continually grateful for a number of things, including you, my extended Gilman family, and the privilege of working and spending my time here at Gilman. We are also blessed with many opportunities we are given and have access to. More specifically, each year at Thanksgiving, I reflect on how grateful I am for the very life that I have, for the safe, comfortable home that I live in, for those people I hold most dear, my husband of 41 years, my wonderful son and daughter and their spouses, 4 beautiful, healthy grandchildren, and those extended family members and dear friends who enrich my life. I am also grateful for those people who have come and gone over many years and taught me many of life's lessons, some intentionally, some quite by accident. The day itself is also something I cherish. It begins with an early morning spent in the kitchen, preparing the turkey as my mother taught me to do such a long time ago, chopping and mixing fresh vegetables and ingredients for traditional homemade stuffing and many other dishes, and then later in the day, savoring the smell of turkey roasting as we await the arrival of those guests who have been invited to share our meal. We often have as many as 25 to 35 people to our home. Many years we have invited someone to join us who is not part of our family or friends, but who may be alone or with no place to go. This has always proven to be a special treat for our family. And on Thanksgiving, it is paramount that we all gather around one long table. This affords us the opportunity to share fellowship, as well as those unforgettable family stories with each other. I hope as we approach Thanksgiving, you will remember to be grateful for those people in your life who make you feel safe, valued, and loved. I also encourage you to be that person who makes others feel those things as often as you can. Happy Thanksgiving and safe travels.
There's a lot of you. Hello. Thanksgiving isn't just a day. It's a way we can live our lives every day. There is so much to be thankful for that one day just isn't enough to contain my gratitude. Each and every day that I wake up, come to school to work out, and watch the sunrise fills my heart with immense joy. My eyesight is impaired, so there is a possibility that my vision will be lost. Therefore, every sunset and every sunrise and every sunset is a gift that I treasure. And I'm so grateful to be here at Gilman with all of you. This place is like a home away from home. My friends and co-workers are like family, always offering to lend a hand down a set of stairs or offer me a ride to a Gilman event. And the students and parents make this place a real community, a community that I am so appreciative to be a part of. And as grateful as I am for Gilman, my family at home deserve a lion's share of my gratitude.
And though every day I am with them is a blessing, I will not deny that Thanksgiving is extra special. We gather around my aunt's table for a huge home-cooked meal, complete with mashed potatoes, fresh tomatoes from the garden, sweet potatoes, and homemade pumpkin pie. My cousin Jason and I usually fight for the crispy ends of the dressing because, as everybody knows, that is the best part. And my mama spends the day asking us if we need anything, and then stealing our drinking glasses when we aren't looking whether we're done or not. I usually spend the day with my little 5-year-old twin cousins, going back and forth from playing princesses to Star Wars, sometimes at the same time. It's crazy and chaotic and hectic, and yet I wouldn't have them or the day any other way. We laugh a lot, we talk too loud, we eat too much, we love each other. You couldn't ask for a better day. And before I conclude, I would be remiss if I didn't mention how grateful I am for my babies, my cats, Sweet Pea and Laszlo. Quite truthfully, all of our pets deserve our thanks and gratitude. We dress them up in silly outfits, we take pictures of them in those outfits, we take videos and we post them online, and we do it all and we laugh at them. And with all of this, they still love us unconditionally, without judgment, and all they ask for us is love in return, and a full food bowl at the end of the day. So, happy Thanksgiving. I wish you all a crazy, hectic, and laughter-filled day.
How about another round of applause for those who came up with another thought, another individual that we asked to speak, but rather than have her speak, I've asked her to sing. And in doing so, our music directors, music teachers, especially Ms. Beckman, Dr. Ford, put together a little ensemble. So you see the faculty assembling there, and we have something special for them.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness. Oh, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. Lord, unto thee.
Ms. Jones, welcome to Gilman. Well, would never know this, but she was sick last week and worried that she wasn't going to be able to sing. I think we did all right. Ms. Jones, thank you for that gift. Thanks to her band backing her up and the singers. Thanks to the bells, concert band. Ms. Pollard, Ms. Franz, Ms. Testerman, Ms. Hammer, thank you for your gift. Paul, thank you as well, and Ms. Miller also for offering the convocation, the invocation, the benediction. So welcome everybody, as Mr. Foreman's already said, to our Thanksgiving convocation. I recently learned of a story of a man named John Kralik. I'd never heard of him until recently. He wrote a book, I think in 2011, called A Simple Act of Gratitude, How Learning to Say Thank You Changed My Life. I've not read the book, but as I understand it, the basic outline is like this. In late 2007, at the age of 52, Mr. Kralik found himself feeling very unhappy. And it didn't take a lot of digging to understand why. For starters, his family life had been falling apart and he was no longer living at home. In addition to that, his business was failing. He was not earning money for himself, he couldn't pay his employees, and he couldn't afford to pay the rent for the office where his law firm was. So if you think about it, any one of these things could get somebody down. And all of them together caused him to dwell on the things that were wrong in his life. So while going on a long walk on New Year's Day of 2008, Mr. Kralik came to an important conclusion, an important realization, really, that he needed to be grateful for the things that he did have, rather than focusing on the things that he did not have or that he thought he had lost. And in order to turn that idea into action, he set out to write one thank you note every day for a whole year. And so he did. And actually, I think it took him just over a year, but he wrote 365 notes. He sent them to a wide array of people, his children, close friends, acquaintances, co-workers, clients, even the person who regularly served him at Starbucks. 365 letters, thank you letters, over the course of a year. And what he found over time is that the rewards of this effort were numerous and all positive. First of all, writing these notes allowed him to notice all of the good things that he did have in his life. Second, there were more tangible benefits that came along with the thank yous as well. Clients paid him more quickly after he had thanked them. He got more referrals for business, and he was motivated to get in better shape. But more powerfully, and I think more to the point here, Mr. Kralik found deep and clear meaning in his own life, and he found happiness. When asked in a television interview what the biggest gift of his note writing had been, he answered that it was the collection of thank you notes he had received in return. That was his biggest gift. In a 2013 article that I read about him, Mr. Kralik explained that, and this is a quote, "By showing others how their lives had meaning in mine, I found them reflecting back to me that my life also had meaning in theirs. I gained an overall sense of peace, a belief that my life was and had been a good one." Mr. Kralik continued, "When I write to my readers now, I try to express to them my hope that they will find, as I did, that the love and gratitude they express to others will return to them someday. Having just written my 860th note, remember this was back in 2013, I can say that I learn in new ways all the time that gratitude is a pathway to the peace that we all seek in life, the peace which passes our understanding. I still feel calmed in my dark or stressful times by writing thank you, patiently and neatly, to those who have helped and comforted me. So as we celebrate Thanksgiving, let's take to heart John Kralick's experience. Let's take the time to say thank you to the people who help us through our days. If you can, write some thank you notes. Whether their presence in our lives is big, like our parents, our grandparents, classmates, teachers, teammates, or small, like the person who works at the checkout counter, the person who serves you coffee. These people serve to shape our lives, and we should be grateful for all that they do for us and all they mean to us. When we say thanks, they will be better for it, and so will we. So I don't have 365 thank you notes to share, but as always, I do have, like Ms. Testerman just did, and there's some overlap, I think, a list of things for which I'm grateful. Now I see that Jack is still here. Jack Tortolani, what is the first thing on my list? Thank you. The Buildings and Grounds crew. Yes, the Buildings and Grounds crew. I'm always thankful for them. Thanks, Jack. So apparently the Tortolanis have listened to this list, but also think it's at my expense. I saw the Tortolani family recently, and this list, the topic of this list came up, and as I was leaving, Jack and Cal's little sister looked at me and said, "Hey, Mr. Smythe, happy Thanksgiving." And I guess I'm thankful for that too. Other things I'm always thankful for on my green evergreen list: the Gilman 5, first-class citizens, people who say, "Hey, Buck Showalter, I told you he'd always be on my list. He brought winning baseball back to Baltimore, even if for a short time." Also on my list, Trey Mancini, Lamar Jackson, and not just because of the results, but because of the fun he displays while he's playing, the excitement he's brought to Baltimore. I'm thankful for the infectious enthusiasm of Officer Parsons, the Kendi 500. I'm thankful for our new pre-K students, the Littlest Hounds. I don't know if they're still there, but they were up there. Occasionally you might see a head pop up. I did see a paper airplane just a second ago flying by. I'm happy and thankful for that too. I'm thankful for the newly refurbished dining hall in the Lumen Center, Blue Pit Barbecue in Hamden, Well-Crafted Pizza, also in Hamden, Rocky's Soda Shop in Brevard, North Carolina. The Chili Willy is still my favorite hot dog. I'm thankful for astronauts who inspired us to heavenly heights and reminded us of the beauty of life on Earth. I'm thankful for the wit and wisdom of Trevor Noah. I'm thankful for the cage staff in the gym. Mr. Barnes and Mr. Mills have been under the weather lately, and we miss them. I'm thankful for the legacy of Mr. Finney, who, as his son pointed out, built on the legacy of Mr. Callard. We can always learn from those who come before us. I'm thankful for hundreds of people, most of them Gilman alumni, gathering to celebrate the life of Mr. Finney. So as you've heard from me before, we're always at our best when we show up and show love for each other. I'm thankful for reuniting with old friends and neighbors, which doesn't happen often enough. For my wife, Mrs. Smythe, still not sure how she fell for me, but I'm going to keep the joke going. I'm thankful for Gilman faculty and staff getting together to clean up Baltimore. for faculty and staff who share their talents and gifts with us every day, for the 4, now 3 people to my left who, along with others, Ms. Bean, Ms. Shook, Ms. Mason come to mind, who really make Gilman happen. I'm thankful for students cheering loud and players playing hard through the final whistle at the Gilman-McDonough game, for Coach Krulowitz, aka Lightning, being inducted into the Maryland Athletic Hall of Fame. I'm thankful for water polo winning the MIAA championship for the first time since 2000 and doing it with class. Did I mention Lamar Jackson? Thankful for him too. And finally, just as Ms. Testerman said, I'm thankful for the turkey tango. Gentlemen, you're up.
We're going to ask you to remain standing as we have the benediction by Mrs. Bella.
That was close.
Please join me once again in reflection. As we go forth from this day, may our gratitude unite us in the desire of using all that we are and all that we have for the common good, so that reasons to be thankful will fill every life. As we depart to spend time with our loved ones, may we remember the words of Henri Frédéric Amiel. Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. Thankfulness may consist merely of words. Gratitude is shown in acts. Amen and thank you.